All right, guys. Abner is killed by Joab because Joab's getting revenge for a brother that was killed in battle by Abner. Abner came to where David was at, like near Hebron, and told David, like, you're gonna be king, man. God wants you to be king. I give you like I give you my allegiance. I'm gonna round up all the Israelites, and power has shifted. Power has moved from Saul to you. Saul's getting weak, and you seem to be strong. You seem to be the next king of Israel. So then David sends Abner back to where he came from, I guess, in peace. But then Joab comes in. Why'd you send him away? Or pretty much, why didn't you tell me he was here? I've been wanting to kill him. I've been wanting to catch him slipping, but why'd you send him away? He's trying to set you up. He wants to know when you're coming and going. We never really figure if that's the case, but I mean, David seems to be really sad once he tells Abner to come back. I guess he tells him David wants you back, and once he catches him, he stabs him and he kills him. And so David was pretty sad about that. Abner had some respect, I guess. It says Saul and David, the house of Saul and the house of David were at war. Um, and so Abner was one of the strong ones left of Saul, and him being smart. So you know what? It's getting out of hand. Other things going on. Maybe the government of Saul's house. He saw this dysfunction. Maybe um, like a fraud, crookedness. What is it? Corruption. Anyway, we were on 2 Samuel 4. And when Saul's son heard that Abner was dead in Hebron, his son had 2 men that were captains of bands. The name of the one was Banah, and the name of the other was Rechab, the son of Rimmon, and a Beerothite of the children of Benjamin. For Beeroth also was reckoned to Benjamin. And the Beerites fled to Gittaim and were sojourners there unto this day. And Jonathan, Saul's son, had a son that was lame of his feet, and was 5 years old when the tidings came of Saul and Jonathan out of Jezreel. And his nurse took him up and fled. And it came to pass as she made haste to flee that he fell and became lame. And his name was Mephibosheth. And the sons of Rimmon the Beerothite, Rechab and Banah, went and came about the heat of the day to the house of Ishbosheth, who lay on a bed at noon. And they came thither in the midst of the house, as though they would have fetched wheat, and they smote him under the 5th rib. And Rechab and Banah his brother escaped. For when they came into the house, he lay on his bed in the bedchamber, and they smote him and slew him and beheaded him and took his head and got them away through the plain all night. And they brought the head of Ishbosheth unto David to Hebron, and said to the king, Behold, the head of Ishbosheth, the son of Saul, thy enemy, which sought thy life, and the Lord hath avenged my lord the king this day of Saul and of his seed. So is this Basheth Mephibosheth? Ishbosheth must be different. They start off with the Saul's lame son with bad feet, and Ishbosheth must be Saul's son, right? Because but he's lame, so I guess he's not going to be able to have kids. But since they killed Ishbosheth, they're saying like, "Hey." And David answered Rechab and Banah his brother, the sons of Rimmon and Beeroth, and said unto them, As the Lord liveth, who hath redeemed my soul out of all adversity, when one told me, saying, Behold, Saul is dead, thinking to have brought good tidings, I took hold of him and slew him in Ziklag, who thought that I would have given him a reward for his tidings. How much more when wicked men have slain a righteous person in his own house upon his bed? Shall I not therefore now require his blood of your hand, and take you away from the earth? And David commanded his young men, and they slew them, and cut off their hands and their feet, and hanged them up over the pool in Hebron. But they took the head of Ishbosheth and buried it in the sepulchre of Abner in Hebron. I remember But the Lord liveth, who hath redeemed my soul. When one told me, behold, Saul is dead, thinking to have brought good tidings, I took hold of him and slew him. Remember that? Ishbosheth is killed. Saul's son.